Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on some really cool advanced high ground retakes. I'm going to be showing you guys a few of them here in this video, and I'm also going to break it down, fully explain. I'm also going to do a little bit of slow motion because I noticed on a few of my other videos you guys were looking for some slow motion. When it comes to some of these high ground retakes, it might just help you guys better understand it. So I'm going to be showing you slow motion of all the high ground retakes here in this video. And also, real quick before we get into the video, in my next video, I'm going to be giving away one of the Minty pickaxe codes. So if you guys do want a chance to win this code, all you guys have to do is drop a like in this video, make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel, turn on my post notifications, and as well leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account, and you guys will be entered. And in my next video, I'm going to be announcing the winner of that giveaway. So make sure you guys enter if you guys want a chance to win a free code of that pickaxe. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so here's going to be the first high ground retake that I'm going to be showing in this video. I'm going to show you guys 3 really good ones you guys can practice that are very effective and also pretty cool to pull off, and really doesn't take that much time to learn once you get it down. Probably for those of you guys who've never done these type of high ground retakes, they definitely do look a little bit more complicated than they actually are, because once you get them down, you are going to be able to do these very consistent, because I have done a few high ground retakes which are definitely a lot harder than these, that will take a lot more practice and a lot more getting down to fully understand and to fully get it down very consistently. So with this one here, I'm going to fully explain exactly how to do it when I show it in the slow motion, because I think it's a lot easier. But when you notice off the start when I edit the floor and the cone, that movement right there, when you edit both of them, there's so many different high ground retakes that you can do off of it. It's kind of crazy. The possibilities are endless. So if you can just master that move alone, where you edit the side of the cone and also the floor, you're going to be able to do so many different high ground retakes, because that move alone really touches into a ton of high ground retakes that you see a lot of people do. So having that movement down is very crucial if you want to have this high ground retake down very consistently. So now I wanted to explain exactly how to do this for those guys who might think it's a little bit too quick, a little bit harder to understand. So here's the slow motion of exactly how you do it. So first, of course, you want to edit the floor and the pyramid, and once you edit that, it's going to create, or the cone is going to create a ramp in which you're going to use that to connect your ramp on top of that. So you see I went for the edit. As soon as I did that, I placed a ramp on top, and then I did a ramp to the side, placed a floor, and then I placed another ramp connecting to the floor I just placed. And this is exactly how you want to do it. It might be a little bit more, so if it's still confusing, definitely still look back and rewatch it, but it should give a pretty clear representation on exactly how to do this high ground retake. So I want to be going into the next one I have in this video, and this one here I haven't done for a very long time. I might have made a video on it a long time ago, but this one can be very effective for a few games. And with this one here, there is a few movements involved, so you're going to want to, as soon as you're able to, what you want to do is you want to do, usually people do these off of 90s. So after you complete off of 90, I think it's a lot more difficult if you try to come from the right side going left. I think that's way too hard, and I think it's possible. It definitely would take a lot more practice. But the easier way to do is just do a regular 90 left to right, like you see me here doing. So I do a 90 left to right, and as soon as I do, after that first 90, I place another ramp to extend outwards. I place a cone, and then after I place that cone, I do another 90, and then I place another floor and cone. And so that's kind of the gist of exactly how to do this high ground retake. This one is a little bit more, I think this one is a lot harder than the first one I showed, just because the timing is a little bit more difficult to get down, in my opinion. And also another thing that might help out when you're doing this high ground retake, for me, I think it helps out is when I'm doing the 90, I pretty much hug myself as far left as possible. And this might actually, I don't know if it actually does, but for me, I feel like it helps me out quite a bit, because when I'm hugging that wall, it makes me at least able to get the rhythm down a little bit quicker. A little bit hard to explain, but I feel like when I'm hugging that side wall, it makes it 10 times easier. So as you can see here, I come off that first 90, and as soon as I do, I extend a ramp outwards. I go to place a pyramid, and as soon as I do, I go for another 90 and then place a floor and pyramid on top of me. And the timing, like I said, the timing for this one is going to be a little bit more complicated. And when you're practicing this, I would recommend practicing this a little bit slower, just because, like I said, the timing is a little bit more difficult because you have to make sure that when you're going for the 90, after you extend out and place the floor and pyramid, then you want to go for the 90. And when you're doing these, when I mess them up, it's either a make or break. Usually I have it perfect, or I just completely mess it up. I place cones everywhere, I place floors everywhere, and also my ramps are all over the place. So when I'm doing these, usually I have them very, very good, or they're just all over the place and I mess them up completely. So this one definitely will take a little bit more practice, but once you have it down, it's a pretty cool thing to have in your inventory if you guys are a creative warrior, or if you just want to practice on your building and editing. It will definitely help you guys out a ton. So that's my second one for this video. I think this one would really help you guys out a lot. And so moving into my third one, and this one's a little bit similar to the first one, as in the first part of the HighGround retake, but this one is a little bit more different than the first one, because once you go out, then you want to waterfall your walls down, place a floor, place a ramp. And when you go for the edit on the floor, you want to pretty much cut it in half and then close the edit and then catch yourself onto another HighGround retake. Now this one's really good in the sense of right after you go for this HighGround retake, you're basically running with your ramp straight and above you, meaning that you can really go into a lot of things after this. So for those of you guys who like to do a lot of creative builds, for those of you guys who like to do a ton of building, editing, and all that kind of good stuff for clips, I think this is very, very good because you can do a lot of things off of it. It looks very cool. It also looks a little bit hard as well. And once you get the timing down, this isn't really that difficult at all. It's just one of those things that, for me personally, when it comes to the ramp, or when you first go to it and you want to edit the pyramid in the floor, for me personally, I feel like that's one of the hardest parts at first, because if you mess that up, you pretty much mess up the entire retake. So you have to make sure that you have a very good grip on editing floors and pyramids. And because when it goes for this one and also goes for the first one, if you don't have that step down, the entire HighGround retake just isn't going to look well. So you want to make sure that you're very, very good at editing those things. And once you get the rhythm down, once you get the practice, it's going to be very easy. And once you're able to do that, the rest of it is going to fall into place. And I also want to show this one in slow motion as well, because the movement that you have to do when you are, or pretty much after you edit the floor and pyramid, the movement can be a little bit complicated if you don't see in slow motion, because at first it looks like you're building all over the place, looks like there's no sort of rhythm, but I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do it here in this clip. Alright, so here's going to be the retake in slow motion. I'm going to walk you guys through it and show you guys exactly what you need to do. So when you're ramping up, you want to place a floor and a pyramid. Those are the first two things you want to do. And then you can go either left side or right side. Then you want to edit the two squares on either side. And once you do that, you want to connect a ramp on top of that. And you can either jump to the left or jump to the right. Definitely depends on your personal preference. But here I decided to jump to the right. And when I jumped, I placed two walls, and then I placed a ramp, and I also placed a floor in that direction. And once I did, I finally finished off the retake by closing the edit that I made on the floor and then turning around and then building off of that. So here it is again. When you're ramping up, you place a floor and you also place a pyramid. And once you do that, you want to edit both on the right or left side, your choice. Once you edit both of them, then you want to connect your ramp on top of the cone that you just edited on top. Once you do that, you want to waterfall your walls. So you want to place two walls to your right. Once you do that, you place a floor and then you also place a ramp to catch yourself. Then you want to edit that floor, and once you finish editing that floor, then you want to reset that edit as you're jumping to the side. Then you can either place a ramp or you can place a floor and a ramp and then build off of that. And the really cool thing that I like about this, like I mentioned earlier, is after you finish this retake, you're left in a position where you can do a lot of different things. You could try to do another retake exactly like this, or you could even go into a bunch of different retakes based on the position that you have. So I think that's really, really cool. And another reason why I really do like this HighGround retake specifically, because there's a ton of things you can do off of it that you can build on and also improve on. So with that being said, that's wrap it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on my post notifications so you guys are notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.